All right. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the channel, everybody. If you're new, don't be. Go ahead and click that subscribe button to be a part of the Witness gang, to join the Witness Nation. Now let's get into this, shall we? Hello, you guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, don't be.
I'm Whitney.
Keep it cute, get the boot. Your girl, as whack as she is in all her glory, was in the New York Times. All right, you guys, welcome back. Disclaimer. Now, this platform discusses any and all information that has been made known to the public in any way. Now, I am not a journalist. I am a commentator. The views and opinions expressed in this particular video and on Whitney D TV's YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect the opinion of myself, Whitney D, and my YouTube channel, Whitney D's YouTube channel, okay? All topics are for entertainment purposes only. Comedy, satire, TV, rated mature. Viewers' discretion is highly advised, okay? Now, all commentary is alleged, but very real and very real indeed, because we come from the transcripts. This is not Whitney, shooting an ish like I always tend to do and laughing and kiki. No, these are real transcripts, okay? And I would like to say welcome to Evidence Over Emotions. Where are you guys tuning in from? Make sure you put it in the chat and or the comments so I can, give you guys a shout out, okay? Now make sure you guys keep it cute or you will get the boot. All right. Now I have my settings, okay, set to boot Scooby. Okay. Yes. Okay. You can learn about getting your YouTube channel all together too by clicking the link in the description box down below to get rid of your trolls. Okay. All right. Now, if you like to join the greatest show on YouTube, I'm just saying, we keep you guys current. Yeah, we keep you guys current with what is going on with the latest in R.KELLY's trials, plural. Okay, as well as we just keep you guys current with what's going on in the world. So if you like to join the channel, you can click the link in the chat, or you can visit the description box and click the link there, or you can click out of your chat and click the join button. All right. Now, if you like to tip the hostess with the mouse, you can do so by sending me a Cashapp, Whitney TV 87, or you can send me a super chat, which the button is located in the chat. All right. Now, if you got a tip, or you like to send me some kind of link of some magnitude that I can look over some kind of article or whatever the case may be, you can send it to reviewswithWhitneyD@gmail.com, or you can slide on into my DMs. Okay. And you can send it there. Okay. I have a lot of people, seriously, a lot of people that be like, Whitney, check this out. I found this article and on sort, and they send stuff to me. So you can do so by at WhitneyD_TV. Okay. On majority of all your platforms. Okay. All right. So again, welcome you guys. Let me go ahead and get into this comments, and we're going to go ahead and get into everything. Okay. All right. Hey, Tavier. Bright and early, 11:35 a.m. said, hey, baby niece. Hey. Katie says, thank you for this, Katie. This material is protected by fair use clause of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowing the rebroadcast of copyrighted materials for the purpose of commentary, entertainment, and education. Okay. Thank you so very much for that. Hey, Long Star, long time no see. Oh, I see you. I like that picture. I like that. He says, hey, Miss Whit. Sorry about that, y'all. He says, hey, Miss Whit, let's go, boo. Let's go. Yes, thank you, Katie. All comments and opinions expressed are alleged and for entertainment purposes solely. Hey, Ashley, you back? I see you. She says, hello, Whitney in chat. Hear ye, PSA. Please arrive and remain respectful or depart embarrassed by being removed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another installation of Evidence Over Emotions, the Road to Illinois trial for R.KELLY series. All right, here we keep you guys abreast and current with what is going on in the latest in his trial. Now, I'm getting everybody caught up, even myself. So the documents that we're reading are literally just a month old. Okay, I started on yesterday, and I was supposed to come back that evening, but child, I be overbooking myself, and it's I had church. Okay, let's just be quite frank and honest with you. I had women's fellowship, and it only happens once a month at this particular church that I attend. And baby, I was not gonna miss it. And funny thing, I had it scheduled. And so when the alarm went off, I was like, I had like an hour or so to get ready. I'm like, oh my God, I can't go on. I can't go on. So I do apologize to you guys for that. Sorry about that, y'all. But yes, I do apologize or whatever. But yeah, but I am here now, and I am going to continue the read that we started on yesterday. I don't know how many of you guys were in attendance on yesterday, but we started the transcript reading of the government's consolidated motions in limb. Okay, now what that consists of is us hearing. Okay, now a lot of people didn't do this with New York. Okay. All right. Well, they didn't pay attention. We read it, but they didn't pay attention. Okay. This is when you find out what is going to be in court as far as evidence, material, and names and on sort. This is what we go back and forth and we hear. Okay. So we started it on yesterday, and we left off on page 12. Okay. And we're going to start that on today. The motion to prevent the public display of child pornography videos during trial. Okay. So we're going to read as much as we can. Like I say, I try not to let these videos be over an hour, because I know people are watching playback and it can just get mundane. So if in the event it goes overboard, I will come back again before Straight Talk tonight. Okay. And I will read the finished product of it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this read. All right. Okay. So I always take myself off the screen because I want to be able to let you guys have the full screen in its entirety. Okay. All right. So again, we left off on page 12. Make sure you guys share this video. So when this trial comes up next month, people won't be like, well, what? Why are they doing that? Well, what was it? This is why, baby. Okay. This is why. This is why they're not allowing the defense to say the girls were fads and they wanted it and all that stuff like that. Yeah. So if you wasn't here yesterday, reread that. We read how they're not going to be using information like that. Hold on one second, y'all. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and get into this read, shall we? Okay. So, for motion to prevent the public display of child pornography videos during trial. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. You're going to hear more details in regards to this, but this is what I was telling the idiots, okay? And I do mean idiots. I don't care who that offends. If the shoe fits, wear it, okay? But not for nothing. This is what I was trying to tell the people in the background, okay? That's the reason why y'all didn't see it, but it was in court, right? And they didn't want to hear what I had to say in regards to it, but I was trying to tell the people that it's child pornography, sweetie. So of course the public didn't see it. However, okay, they will see still shots of it, okay. They will see clips of it and on sort, okay. But you're gonna hear, okay, you're gonna hear how they go by letting the jury and everybody else see it. 9 times out of 10, they're probably gonna say, we're gonna probably hear in this article that some way, shape, or another, it's just gonna be for like jury only to be able to see it or something like that, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it, okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try not to be doing my slurping, but I'm sipping on my Starbucks vanilla and caramel hot coffee. It's a rainy day here in Texas, so I'm indulging. Okay, so bear with me, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this read. All right. Okay. The court should prevent the publication of child pornography video clips to the gallery during trial. There is no doubt that criminal trials are public events and that weighty concerns about the fairness and integrity of the proceedings require that criminal trials be open to the public. Okay, now, here we go. Oh my gosh, Ashley, it is delicious. I can make a mean cup of coffee. Whenever we do these meet and greets, I'm gonna do like a brunch style meet and greet with my people for real, because I love breakfast. I love a nice good brunch. I'm a bruncher, right? So I got you. Anyways. This particular case, law says the presumption of openness in criminal trials is not absolute, however, okay? Now, what I say about that, we was talking about this the other day. I was telling people it's not absolute. You know, you can't just sit up here and expect to see some kids having sex. You get what I'm saying? So, anywho, the presumption of openness may be overcome only by an overriding interest based on findings that closure is essential to preserve higher values and is nearly tailored to serve that interest. This particular case law, okay? Here, the overriding interest is the protection of minor one who is depicted in the child pornography videos that the government intends to introduce at trial. The Supreme Court has found that child pornography creates a permanent record of a victim's abuse. And the very existence of that child pornography causes the child victims continuing harm by haunting the children in years to come. Goes on to say victims of child pornography often write about their ongoing anxiety and fear that people who see them in public places will recognize them from the photographs that were taken of them as they were exploited. Long stars. It's off subject, but meet and greet. Yes. I'm thinking about doing it. My plan was upon us hitting 7,000 subscribers, I want to do a slight meet and greet, like a 2 to 3 city meet and greet. I know Houston is going to be one. I'm thinking about Atlanta, and I'm not quite sure about the third one. But yeah. Anywho, okay. So it goes on to say victims of child pornography often write. Okay, we read that. Oh yeah, no. Victims of child pornography often write about their ongoing anxiety and fear that people who see them in public places will recognize them from the photographs that were taken of them as they were exploited. Okay, see that particular case law. It says, and then they have a whole little clip, like a whole little link or what have you. We're not going to go to that, but yeah. Goes on to say, although the children cannot control that these images exist, this court can prevent the images from being publicly displayed during trial. So again, the court, okay, the court can overrule on that or make it to where we, the public, cannot see it. However, I guarantee you that the jury will. Okay, that's evidence. They need to be able to see it. It ain't no hearsay, but us as the people probably will not be able to see that, which it makes a big amount of sense. Okay. Goes on to say, the government has nearly tailored its request to serve the victim's interests. The only accommodation, hold on, y'all. The government has narrowly tailored its request to serve the victim's interests. The only accommodation that the government seeks is for the court to limit publication of the sexually explicit videos to the jury and trial participants while avoiding publications to the gallery. What did I tell y'all? Okay, I told y'all 9 times out of 10 it's just going to be to the jury. And case in point, there you go right there. Okay, so basically, all right, the only people that's going to be able to see it, okay, is the people that are participating, okay, meaning the minor, the minor mama, and on sort, and then the jury. It's not going to be put on big display as we saw with New York. Remember in New York how we saw even the sketchings. You can see the pictures, in the background, right? You could see that R.KELLY was up there talking, or you could see a document or something like that. They're not going to put it on full display like that. Okay, so that's the whole point in what they're saying. Okay. Okay. The government is not asking for any limitation on testimony describing such images. Requests to limit publication of child pornography are commonly granted, okay, in this particular case law. All right. And it says go on to limiting display of child pornography images to the jury and trial participants and finding that there is no particular compelling reason why the public would need to see child pornography in the gallery during trial, which is true. Why? you know um it might be appeasing for us to confirm what we already know, what I'm saying? But again, if you haven't seen that one video that was out back in 1919, then unfortunately to you, but unfortunately I did, and I still to this day in my big years of 35 can't kill that visual, because I did see Rashonda in that video, and I can tell you verbatim how everything looked in the room, how she looked, how what she did. It was just sickening. I had to stop the video, okay, because she was around my age, So I'm just like, oh, I couldn't imagine myself getting down with an old man like that. But anyway. Um, there is no particular compelling reason why the public would need to see child pornography in the gallery during trial, and it would be detrimental to the minors depicted therein to put their victimization on display. Okay, goes on to say in United States versus Seepin, this court granted the government's motion to prevent the public display of child pornography images and clips during the trial in that matter. All right, this particular case. Now, further preventing the display of child pornography images to the public does not constitute plain error. All right, this particular case law, finding no plain error where even assuming that restricting the display of trial exhibits to the courtroom audience constitutes a particular closure for Sixth Amendment purposes. The government presents substantial reasons for doing so, limiting the continuing harm to victims of child pornography. In that particular case law, goes on to say finding no plain error where a district court permitted the government to turn off a monitor facing the gallery during the display of alleging sexual explicit images. So bam, there you have it. So basically, So basically, at so basically, like I said, okay, they're gonna basically turn off monitors, remove it off of the big screen, but it's still gonna be, able to be accessible, right? Okay. Okay, let me take a pause for the calls. Give me just a second, y'all. Give me just a second. Suja, meaning long, beautiful life, embodies the promise that flows from the cold pressed beverages it delivers in each and every bottle. Now, today they carry on their founder's mission to get the best quality, organic, and non GMO beverages into as many hands as possible. Now, I am happy to say I am one of those hands. Yes, I'm Whitney D of WhitneyD TV, and I am a proud ambassador of Suja Juice. I love, personally, their vibrant probiotic juice, and their immunity elderberry shots got me and my family through the roughest times of COVID-19. Now, if you want to find a quick and resourceful way to take on all of your vitamins and nutrients, try sujajuice.com. Visit the description box down below to get more information and let them know that Whitney D or WhitneyD TV sent you. Bye. Sujajuice.com, okay? And you can actually pick up this juice at any of your retail stores, Walmart or Whole Foods. I am a brand ambassador, okay? Sujajuice.com, okay? Suja, meaning long, beautiful life, embodies the promise that flows from the cold pressed beverages it delivers in each and every bottle. Now, today they carry on their founder's mission to get the... Don't you just love trolls? Said no one ever. What if I told you I know how to minimize, virtually erase your channel trolls? Yeah, that's right. Hi, I'm Whitney D of WhitneyD TV, and with my two-step process, get your trolls under your thumb. What does trolling mean? To antagonize others online by deliberately posting inflammatory, irrelevant, or offensive comments, or other disruptive content. Trolls engage in the most outrageous and offensive behavior possible, all the better to troll you with. As a content creator myself, I dealt with trolling head on into the start of my YouTube career, and it was devastating. As time went on, however, I discovered settings and controls that helped me minimize and virtually erase trolling, and I loved it. Doing these easy steps changed everything. Click the link below to get my ebook on how to stop trolling. Don't you just love trolls? Said no one ever. What if I told you I know how to minimize, virtually erase your channel trolls? Yeah, that's right. Hi, I'm Whitney D of WhitneyD TV, and with my two-step process, get your trolls under your thumb. What does trolling mean? To antagonize others online by deliberately posting inflammatory, irrelevant, or offensive comments, or other disruptive content. Trolls engage in the most outrageous and offensive behavior possible. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to take a pause for the frequent calls, but thank y'all for hanging in there. Okay, let's continue. Goes on to say, number 5, government's intended evidence of a polygraph examination. We're going to hear about some truths. Okay. At trial, the government will present evidence about polygraph examinations that were administered for multiple witnesses who were involved in the recovery of videotapes produced by Kelly containing child pornography. Thank you, Katie. Yes, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to press the notification bell, set it from all to the personalized, okay? And yes, West Coast Bells in the building. Yes, ma'am. What it do? All right, let's continue. Okay. So again, y'all, what are we reading? What is this, Whitney? Why should we care about this? Because this lets you know what is going to be presented and what is not going to be presented in court. Okay. Now, a lot of these things may not necessarily get approved by the judge. We're going to actually hear about all of that as well. But as of right now, we're going back and forth hearing what the government is saying that they do and don't want to be presented in the court. Okay, so this is very, 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 very important for those reasons. Okay. A, factual background. In summary, Count 5 of the superseding indictment alleges that between 2000 and 2019, Kelly and McDavid conspired with each other. Individual A, okay, now I'm assuming, if I'm not mistaken, you guys, individual A is Junebug. I'm assuming, okay, and others to conceal and cover up the existence of multiple videos depicting Kelly engaged in sexual contact and sexual acts with minors. Okay. And they're saying minors, and they're showing you where the superseding motion, elaborates on that. Okay. Goes on to take counts 2 through 5. In approximately 2001, Kelly and McDavid learned that at least 4 of these videos, video 1, video 2, video 3, and video 4, were missing from Kelly's collection of child pornography. Yikes. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Had to give me a sip of my coffee. I didn't want to be rude. It says 4. So, in order to conceal and cover up the existence of videos from investigators, Kelly, McDavid, and others agreed to collect the missing videos that depicted Kelly engaged in sexual contact with minors. Okay, number 5, it is alleged that Kelly and McDavid, all right, Kelly and McDavid paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to individual A, individual B, individual C, and individual D in exchange. Okay. All right. So, yes, I'm thinking Junebug is one because he, you know, he received money from Kelly to be able to conceal and stuff like that, and everybody keep talking about, bringing this whole black and white situation up, but or I don't know if y'all know, but McDavid is white. He's a white man, y'all. And to be honest with you, predominantly the white community are the ones that are, sorry, no shade to my white subscribers and stuff like that, but predominantly they white, just like these mass shooters and all that stuff like that. Okay, so we got to be fair if we're gonna be fair, and to be fair, they getting everybody. Okay, not just the black man, but the white man too is being taken down. Okay, so let's be very clear on that. Okay. What's that? As a condition of being paid money for returning the video tapes, the superseding indictment alleges that Kelly and McDavid directed individual B, individual C, and individual D. Thank you, baby. To take polygraph examinations regarding whether they had returned all copies of such videotapes. Okay. The indictment further alleges that at the direction of McDavid on Kelly's behalf, individual C and individual D took polygraph examinations regarding the videotapes that individual C and individual D had returned depicting Kelly engaging in sexual contact and sexual acts with minor 1 and individual D, including whether there were additional copies of the videotapes. Now, at trial, the government will call individual B, individual C, and individual D. Now, we learned on the other day that individual D is Lisa Van Allen. If you didn't know that, okay? And we are grateful for that because she gets to tell her story, not just on Vlad TV, not just in no book, baby, but on trial where the record really is important. So let's go. Okay. Where we leave off at? To testify about their involvement in the conspiracy. Okay, but mind you, rumor has it that Lisa Van Allen exploited R. Kelly. But what I see? And this is before me reading this, y'all. What did I tell y'all on that video of the whole exploitation of R. Kelly with Lisa Van Allen? I told y'all it is really flipped. Okay, he exploited her. He extorted her. I mean, I say exploited. He extorted her. Okay, the extortion wasn't on Lisa Van Allen. It was on him. He paid her. Okay, now we broke this down on yesterday or the day before that. It's two forms of extortion: it's blackmail and it's bribery. Okay, she wasn't bribing him. Okay, he bribed her with the money. She agreed to it. You know, saying rightfully so. If you're gonna pay me for something that I was willing to get for free, it ain't that fair exchange on a robbery. But I concur, girl. Let's go. Sorry, y'all. I do that a lot. I'm sorry, y'all. I got sorry. I know they probably popped a lot of y'all ears. I do apologize. Individual B, individual C, and individual D will testify about the communications that they had with the defendants about returning the tapes in exchange for financial compensation. So we finally get to hear how it all played out, which we already know. If you've seen the interview with Vlad TV and Lisa Van Allen, you already know how she broke this down and how it transpired. But now it's going on record, and now she has to prove what she said to be true. And I keep telling y'all that it don't matter about what you say in court. It matters about what you can prove. So if you're lying in court, you're gonna have to prove that lie to be so. Okay? If you're telling the truth, you're gonna have to make sure you show that truth that you're telling to be so. They will testify about how, as a condition to receiving the promised payment, they were required to first take polygraph examinations about whether all such videotapes had been returned to Kelly and McDavid. Now, if you're getting extorted, that the rules are in your hands, right? You know, if I know what extortion is, the ball isn't in your court. You're getting extorted. You don't have the level playing field. They'll tell you what goes on, but you know. The government also plans to call on or more of the polygraph examiners to testify about their involvement in administering the polygraph examinations of individual B, individual C, and individual D, which is weird to me because if they were sitting there as administering this exam and they didn't go to the authorities. See, that's what I'm saying. When people be throwing that out there, oh my God, the parents, y'all, you should be aware that it was multiple people involved in this whole cover up. Because yeah, what were you thinking when you were administering these questions? And I bet you, I mean, you had to ask, well, is there any more videos? Well, what kind of videos are these? You get what I'm saying? So why didn't this examiner then go and tell the authorities upon hearing this information? Right? Interesting. Okay. Through these witnesses, the government will introduce testimony and documents related to the polygraph examinations that were administered on behalf of Kelly and McDavid. The documentary evidence, which is described further below, is relevant to the charged conspiracy in that it demonstrates that the witnesses were subject to such examinations about the videotapes as a condition to their promised payment. from Kelly and McDavid. Okay, so this kicks out the whole presumption of the extortion of R. Kelly because they promised them money. Okay, they promised them money, and it was contingent to them doing these polygraph examinations. For example, the government anticipates that individual D will testify that in 2007, she was required to take polygraph examinations geared at determining whether she had returned all copies of a videotape that she took. Mind you, it was one videotape, and she confirmed that in regards to the Vlad interview. She only took one. Remember, oh boy was like, "Well, why didn't you take more?" And she was like, "Well, that's the only one I got my hands on, and if it was more, I would have took more, right?" That she took from Kelly that depicted individual D, which is herself, having sex with Kelly and minor one, video 4. Okay. So again, there's 4 videos, y'all. Okay. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 videos. And that very first one, the whole world saw. Okay. As we know, or at least the whole world had access to see it. Okay. Now for some time now. Everybody named mama be, oh, it's the same video, it's the same video they've been having since. Remember, even Azriel, oh, silly behind, when she was able to get on her IG and stuff like that, and she was proclaiming professional love for R. Kelly, was telling me, oh yeah, they still using that same video, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that yeah. No. They have several. Individual D will testify that after passing the first 2 polygraphs, she received payments from McDavid and Kelly. In order to get the remaining money that she was promised by Kelly and McDavid, individual D had to take a third polygraph examination. The government seeks to introduce documents related to individual D's polygraph, including. Now, I brought this to the forefront for you guys on the other day when I was when I was going over the quote unquote extortion of Lisa Van Allen to R. Kelly. These are some inserts that I had pulled out, and I was telling you guys as we read the documents, we will be going over it soon. Yes, we're supposed to. The individual D also said she took the tape because it had her on it. Yep. She sure did. Okay, and now y'all, this is gonna be. I'm gonna go over just a little bit because I've been pausing in and out a lot. So I'm gonna go over in my little hour mark. Okay, we probably do like an hour and 30 or something like that. But I do apologize. Kiddos, I'm having to stop, pause, and attend to my kiddos. Okay, so I do apologize. All right. Okay, so this is the following that we're going to be able to see in lieu of the polygraph examinations. Okay, check 1: data consent forms signed by the individual, signed by Lisa Van Allen, in which she agreed to take the polygraph examinations. Okay, now I'm curious to know what that consent form shows. Is it something that McDavid and Kelly typed up? Is it something that was professionally from the polygraph facility? Because mind you, when we saw the whole FN Bay and all that stuff situation transpired, remember we saw the document, that she kept putting out, and she was like, this is from the examiners and blah blah blah. So I wonder if it was an official consent form or was it something that they concocted. in which she agreed to take the polygraph examinations and release the results to Kelly's attorney. Mind you, again, like I was telling y'all on that particular extortion video, why would it go to the attorney, right? Why? Right? Well, it's to confirm if she was telling the truth. But on the contrary, the reason why this is so significant is because remember, even Vlad, the interview from Vlad, whatever that man name is, he pointed out, well, the attorney said that you were trying to get so and so amount of money from him. And she was like, nah, mind you, again, this is the reason why I try to tell you guys to stay focused. Okay. They're going to put out what they need to be deflective upon what is important. Okay, just like them bringing back these old throwback ass text messages. Okay, we found out about this back in April, March, but how convenient people are it's resurfacing and it's hitting a little harder now because the mainstream media is picking up. Why are they doing this? Because of this Illinois trial that is transpiring on next month. Y'all pay attention. Let's stop playing. Okay, stay focused. That's why I'm telling y'all, that's why I put on the title current. We're going to talk about what's current. We're not going to go back to April, March with these old throwback text messages. We're going to focus on these 5 minors that this man violated. You're not going to throw us off. A lot of y'all are throwing off because y'all still backtracking. No. We're going to stay current. And just as well as they try to put that rumor out that this girl extorted him and won all this money, where did that come from? Well, his attorney put that rumor out there. Okay? All the information came through his attorney that was a part of the conspiracy. Okay? Let us not forget that. Okay? I mean, you can see it right here, and that's the reason why they're bringing this up in trial. Okay? Kelly's attorney at the time, it was going to be released to Kelly's attorney. Okay. As she said, no need to apologize. Life is always first. Thank you. Layla says, good afternoon, Whitney. Everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, honey bunches. All right, let's continue. Let's see what else we're going to hear. Excuse me. Pre-examination interview forms completed by the examiner containing some general background information about individual D. Third point. You what, baby? Oh, sorry, I forgot the last point. The examiner's notes listing the questions that he asked individual D during the polygraph examination. Ooh, that is juicy. That's very, very, very interesting. Okay. Because again, what questions was Kelly and David posing on them for them to have to answer? Very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. These documents are relevant to show the dates that the polygraphs were administered, who administered them, and who would receive the results of the exams. In particular, the questions that were asked during the examinations are relevant to establish the purpose of the polygram. Oh my gosh, it's like butter, baby. Okay, it's like butter, baby, because it tells you what's the relevancy of them having to take a polygraph test. Well, because they're trying to, cover up all this. They're trying to make sure that there's no more videos out there, blah, 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 right? As another example, the government plans to call individual C to testify about how individual D sent him a copy of the videotape that she took from Kelly containing the video of Kelly, individual D, and minor 1 having sex. After individual C received the tape, he was summoned to Chicago to meet with McDavid about returning the tape. Now, inquiring minds would like to know, how did McDavid find out? That is what I'm curious to know. How did it get out? You know what I'm saying? Now, what I'm thinking could have very well happened, if you ask me. Individual C was the culprit. And I feel like individual C somehow reached out to Kelly, okay, and said, hey, I got this. Now, if anything, I think individual C probably could have been the one that was doing some weirdo, some scamming, extortion situation, if you ask me. Okay, and I'm just being honest because it's just weird. It says after individual C received the tape, he was summoned. Okay, he was summoned. Now y'all know I like to look. I like to look up words. Okay, summoned. Let's look up the meaning of summoned. To be summoned. Urgently demand. Call people to attend. Urgently call on someone to be present, especially as a defendant or witness in a law court. Okay, that by definition, that's what summon means. Okay, so the thing is that it was an urgency there to get him there. Why? How? Right? West Coast Bell says maybe Lisa Van Allen did want something. Why did she tell them she took the tape? Well, I will have to say this is just my theory, okay? But let's be real. We've heard on countless amount of times in testimony, okay, with New York, okay, how he was getting on to one particular individual was like, you can come up murked for this, right? Y'all remember that, right? Now, you got to remember who you're dealing with. I don't know if you guys have been under a rock, but it's some stuff going on with the Potter's Church and his daughter taking babies and all this stuff like that, right? And the one girl kept her mouth shut for years to come because, she's scared. And when you have money, you have power, and you can do some things with that, right? So if you ask me, what I think she was doing was kind of like spreading it out because she was, just in case, I'm gonna put it out there, just in case something happened to her. I'm gonna put it out there. Just in case something happened to her, it's still out there in the ether. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm thinking. I don't necessarily think it was just like she wanted something because again, we would have seen that in these documents that it was a correspondence directly between Kelly McDavid and individual D. It wasn't. It is individual C, and he got summoned. You feel me? So I'm thinking she trusted the wrong person. That's if you ask me. You give somebody some information like, hey, hold this for me. You feel me? And then this person is like, true. Because it don't depict him. You get what I'm saying? It don't depict him at all. So I don't know. That's just my perspective. West Coast says, I'm for the victims, hands down. Just wondering, I would have disappeared. Yeah, I would have to. I would have to, child. But we can't really tell somebody how they would be in that situation because I would have probably been too scared to even grab a tape if you ask me. But I don't know. Uh-huh. Okay, let's continue. Goes on to say he was summoned to Chicago to meet with McDavid about returning the tape. Individual C is expected to testify that before he left for Chicago, he made a copy of the full-length tape and only brought a shorter snippet of the tape with him to Chicago. Yikes. He provided the snippet to McDavid, who went into another room with individual D. When McDavid returned, West Coast Bell says true. His behavior would have scared me off early on. Yes, exactly. Hey, T Bam says hi, Whitney in chat. Hey, honey bunches. It goes on to say, according to individual C, once he arrived in Chicago, he provided the snippet to McDavid, who went into another room with individual D. When McDavid returned, he told individual C that he would have to take a polygraph examination. Individual C will testify that after he took the polygraph and failed, whoa, he took the test and failed. McDavid instructed individual C to go home and get the original tape, or else someone would come visit him. Yo. Sounds like a threat to me. Sounds like a threat to me. Someone would visit him. You see what I'm saying? So this is the reason why I feel like Lisa Van Allen got her some insurance. You know what I'm saying? By passing it around like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, child. Yikes. Individual C understood McDavid's statement to be a threat. I just said that. Individual C will further testify that before he left that day, McDavid paid individual C $20,000 in cash as a down payment for going back to get the original tape for McDavid and Kelly. You hit it on the head. West Coast Bell says, yeah, that's a mob style scary-ish. You see what I'm saying? This is why he got hit with the RICO. What are we talking about? Wow, his old sorry, money hungry attorney Bojangles is talking this man out of a freaking plea deal. Okay? Because let's be honest with you, the longer she stays on this case and on this appeal, the more her pockets get fat. This woman has no idea of the magnitude in which she is getting herself in. Everybody was jumping on the bandwagon because look what she did for Cosby. Look what she didn't do this last time for Cosby. He lost. R.KELLY lost. Rainer lost. What are we talking about here? She should have directed her client in New York to cop a plea. Now she's going to let this man go off into Illinois and get his head cut off. Y'all better watch out. West Coast hit it right on head. This is mob style type of stuff. Y'all wonder why McDavid was trying to sever his connection. Because if all of them are in this one shebang bang, all of them are going to have to serve their time. And that's on period. T-Bam says, just to think why a lot of people didn't report abuse. Their life was threatened. Yeah. I mean, even the freaking administrators. Like I said before you came in, I was like, I'm curious as to, did he pay off the freaking examiners? Inquiring minds would like to know. The government anticipates that individual C will testify about the events that occurred after he returned to Chicago with the original tape. Specifically, individual C is expected to testify that he was required to take another polygraph examination after whether he had any other copies of the tape. According to individual C, he passed the second polygraph, and McDavid paid individual C $80,000 in cash. The documents created as a result of individual C's polygraph examination. Now, mind you, the reason why they're paying in cash is no paper trail. But idiots fail to realize, regardless, when you move that money, let's say when that that money moved from the LLC of R. Kelly's, let's say enterprise or whatever account, when it moved to McDavid, and then you see McDavid cashes out, and then you got individual C saying, I got this amount. All they're doing is comparing, okay, okay, let's see, all right, 80,000 hit this account at this time. Okay. You feel me? Because you're going to hear that a particular amount of, let's say $100,000 went over to McDavid account, right? And we're going to hear how he was supposed to break that payment down. Well, now we hear, and it's just adding up. They're basically going to cross the T's and dot all the I's. Child, let's go. This is going to be good. The documents created as a result of individual C's polygraph examination, including the consent forms that individual C signed and the examiner's notes regarding his administration of the polygraphs, confirms individual C's trips to Chicago and meetings with McDavid and are direct evidence of the conspiracy to conceal and cover up Kelly's sexual abuse of minors. B, argument. In this case, defendants used polygraph examinations as a tool to further their conspiracy to obstruct justice and recover illicit videotapes of Kelly engaged in sexual contact with minor one. Now, during the conspiracy, defendants retained multiple examiners to administer polygraphs to multiple witnesses in this case, many of whom were subject to more than one polygraph. This evidence demonstrates how serious defendants were about recovering the missing child pornography tapes and is admissible to show consciousness of guilt. Yeah, you trying to get these tapes that bad. You knew you were guilty. You knew you were guilty, ninja. The government seeks to introduce evidence and testimony about the polygraph examinations for purposes wholly unrelated to the substantive correctness of the results of the polygraph examination. Now, the government will not elicit testimony from witnesses about whether the results of the test were scientifically accurate. The perpetrated results are only relevant insofar as they provide important context as to one, why McDavid required individuals to take multiple tests, and two, why McDavid paid large sums of cash to individuals after it was reported that they passed examinations. The government further represents that it will not use the results of the polygraph to bolster the credibility of any witnesses and will not make any arguments regarding the scientific relatability of polygraph examinations at trial. So again, basically they're saying they're not going to use this to say, see, this person is telling the truth. No, they're saying the freaking fact of the matter of as to why they had to take these polygraph tests is so they can make sure that they ain't got no other copies anywhere. Okay, that's the relevancy of putting this information in there, and they're just trying to say this is what they want to use it for to convey it in the court of law. See, people, if y'all read stuff like this, you'll know why different stuff is being admissible or not admissible or being brought into court. Okay, and you'll actually be able to hear what other sides are posing. You'll be able to hear what the government is going to do before you hear it in trial. You'll be able to see what the defense is going to counteract with when you read what is in lim. Admission of the polygraph evidence for the limited reasons set forth above is permitted under Seventh Circuit law. Okay. The Seventh Circuit has given district courts considerable difference on the issue, indicating that the decision to admit polygraph evidence will be reversed only when the district court has abused its discretion. This particular case law, okay? In Risnick, the government presented evidence that during the execution of a search warrant on the defendant's home, law enforcement asked the defendant to take a polygraph examination, and the defendant refused to take one. In affirming the court's admission of this evidence at trial, the Seventh Circuit reasoned that this case is not in the end about polygraph evidence. It is about evidence of a refusal to take a polygraph. Okay. And they saying that that's not what, I mean, they don't even care about them taking it or not. You know, it's not even about that. Okay. The same principle applies here. The government is not seeking to use the results of the polygraph examination for their scientific value or to bolster the credibility of any witness. Rather, as alleged in the superseded indictment, Kelly and McDavid caused examiners to administer polygraph examinations in furtherance of their conspiracy to obstruct justice. Okay. McDavid calls examiners to administer polygraph examinations in furtherance of their conspiracy to obstruct justice. It is also important to highlight that the offered polygraphic evidence does not relate to polygraphs of any of the defendants in this case. As a result, there is no risk that the jury could make adverse inferences about the defendant's credibility. As the government is not offering evidence that any of the defendants took polygraphs, this particular case law, from an exclusion of evidence that the defendant took a polygraph under Rule 403, because even if the facts about an exam were admitted without the results, the jury would still be reasonably likely to infer that the defendant failed the polygraph. Now, in sum, evidence of where, when, how, and why the polygraphs of individual B, individual C, and individual D were administered is probative evidence of the conspiracy charge in the indictment, including, for example, one of the alleged overt acts that McDavid, acting on Kelly's behalf, directed individual C and individual D to take polygraph examinations. And as such, this evidence should be admitted at trial. 6. Notice regarding introduction of the false records alleged in the superseding indictment. Now, the government provides notice that it will seek to introduce certain false records alleged in count 5 of the superseding indictment. First, the government provides notice that it will seek to admit a memorandum summarizing an interview. Oh, here we go. Summarizing an interview of individual D that took place on or about July 26, 2007. Now, this memorandum, which is not hearsay, is relevant to prove that McDavid and Kelly conspired to obstruct justice, as alleged in count 5 of the superseding indictment. Particularly relevant to this motion is the allegation in the superseding indictment that on or about July 26, 2007, Kelly and McDavid directed Lisa Van Allen to falsely deny that she and Kelly engaged in sexual acts together with Rashonda, when Kelly and McDavid knew that Kelly had engaged in sexual acts with Rashonda and Lisa Van Allen. As Kelly and McDavid intended, a false record, document, and tangible object was prepared based upon Lisa Van Allen's false statements. The memorandum of Lisa Van Allen's interview is the false document referred to in the superseding indictment. Yikes. Now, as set forth above, Lisa Van Allen was summoned to Chicago multiple times in 2007 in connection with McDavid and Kelly's efforts to collect contraband videotapes and impede the Cook County criminal prosecution in 2008. Now, Lisa Van Allen was required to take multiple polygraph examinations to assure Kelly and McDavid that she had returned the video she took from Kelly that depicted herself, Kelly, and Rashonda engaging in sex acts while Rashonda was around 14 years old. Yikes. Now, Lisa Van Allen is expected to testify at court in this case. Good for her. Good for her. Following her third polygraph examination on or about July 26, 2017, McDavid told her to meet with other lawyers and tell them that she never had sex with Rashonda. Lisa Van Allen is expected to testify that McDavid waited in the hallway as she went in the room to meet. Wow. So this off-brand waited in the hall while she met with lawyers. What kind of threatening? That is scary. And provide them with the false statements as instructed by McDavid. A memorandum of interview dated July 26, 2007 was prepared documenting Lisa Van Allen's false statements. In summary, the memorandum states that Lisa Van Allen provided the following information. Here we go. Between 1997 and 2006, individual D had sex with Kelly and multiple other females, all of whom were over the age of 17. So, y'all, these are the false statements, okay? Individual D, Lisa Van Allen, knew minor one, which is Rashonda, and had spoken to her on numerous occasions. Lisa Van Allen never saw Kelly in a sexual situation with Rashonda. Rashonda was never a participant in any sexual encounter with Lisa and Kelly. Lisa Van Allen agreed to be interviewed by attorneys on July 26, 2007. Lisa Van Allen was not forced, threatened, or promised anything to participate in the interview. Now, at trial, the government will question Lisa Van Allen about this memorandum and lay the foundation for the memorandum's admission into evidence. The memorandum should be admitted, as the statements therein are not being offered for their truth. Quite the opposite. The government seeks to use this document as evidence that she was coerced by McDavid and Kelly to provide false information about her knowledge of Rashonda and Kelly's abuse of Rashonda. The government's evidence will further show that on or about July 26, 2007, Lisa Van Allen received a $30,000 payment from Mick David. Now, in addition, the memorandum is not privileged. After the memorandum was prepared, Kelly's attorney at the time provided the memo to the assistant state's attorney assigned to Kelly's criminal trial in Cook County. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office, in turn, provided a copy of the memo, along with the correspondence from Kelly's attorney to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and the memo has been produced to the defendants in this case. Second, the government provides notice that it will seek to admit a police report. Containing false information provided by Rashonda during the Chicago Police Department's investigation of Kelly in 2000. As alleged in the superseding indictment in approximately December 2000, pursuant to instructions that Rashonda received from Kelly, Rashonda falsified and caused a false entry to be made in a police report. When Rashonda denied to law enforcement officers that Kelly engaged in a sexual relationship with minor one, which is Rashonda. Now, at trial, Rashonda is expected to testify that Kelly began having sexual contact with her beginning around 1997 or 1991, when Rashonda was 13 or 14 years old. Now, when Rashonda was about 15 or 16, in or about 2000, certain government agencies began investigating allegations that Kelly was sexually abusing Rashonda. Now, Kelly instructed Rashonda on how to act and what to say if she was questioned. In or around December 2000, law enforcement officers from the Chicago Police Department questioned Rashonda about sexual contact with Kelly. Now, during the interview with CPD, Rashonda falsely denied the allegations of Kelly's sexual misconduct and documented that information in a police report. Now, in summary, the police report states that the law enforcement interview Rashonda, who stated that she had never been sexually abused by Kelly and that any such allegations are untrue. Now, at trial, the government will seek to admit the CPD report into evidence. Admission of this report is permissible as it is not hearsay and is being offered to prove allegations in the superseding indictment. For all these reasons, the above described records should be admitted into evidence. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. An hour and 15 minutes in this thing. Yikes, y'all. Like, yikes. Okay, what we're going to continue on tonight, I'm going to come back and finish the rest of the 20, I think it's like 15, 16 odd pages. But it's going to continue on page 24 out of 43. And then we're going to continue at the government's notice of intent to admit direct evidence of crimes charged. Okay. But how about that, y'all? Yikes. We're going to hear from a lot of people in this trial. And what is so interesting about this particular trial is a lot of loose ends that we were not privy to, that we weren't aware of. It's going to be straightened out here soon. And I'm just like, wow, like, yikes, like this is going to be very, very, very interesting to say the least. And I'm ready for Illinois. You know what I'm saying? I am ready for Illinois. I mean, good luck to people that are still in New York, but we are full steam ahead to Illinois. Okay. But Thank you guys again for tuning into another installation of Evidence Over Emotions, the Road to Illinois trial for R.KELLY series. We are full steam ahead for the trial for Illinois. We are catching ourselves up. The documents that I'm reading are literally just a month past. So we are getting caught up. And if you want to be abreast to what is currently happening for Illinois, make sure you guys lock and load here on WhitneyD TV. As I told you guys on, I think it was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, R.KELLY has, transitioned into Chicago. He's no longer in New York. And that's why I pray to God that everybody that is still in New York reading transcripts and all sorts, get caught up, baby. Okay. R.KELLY is already done left New York. He is waiting trial in Chicago. Okay. So again, thank you guys so very much for tuning into another installation of Evidence Over Emotions, the Road to Illinois trial for R.KELLY. I am excited, to say the least, to see what is going to transpire in Illinois. But if you have been listening to these particular documents, we kind of already know what's going to transpire. We know who we're going to be subject to hear from. We kind of know what evidence is going to be admissible in court. And we're going to see what the defense has to say in regards to all of this, okay? And what the judge signs off for in regards to what the government is trying to put in there, okay? Not for nothing, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yes. Like Katie says, thank you everyone for coming. Thank y'all so very much. And I will see you guys on tonight. I'm going to pre-schedule it for tonight. I may do it again like a podcast style, because I will be coming back on tonight for Straight Talk with Whitney D. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But not for nothing, you guys. Thank y'all so very much. Yes. Like Katie says, on your way out, please hit that thumbs up button. Okay. Thank y'all so very much. And I will see you guys same bad place, different bad time. Thank y'all.
What the hell is wrong with you people? Every famous nigga that gets arrested is not Nelson Mandela. Yes, the government conspires to put a lot of innocent black men in jail on fallacious charges. But R.KELLY is not one of those men. We all know the nigga can sing. But what happened to standards? What happened to bare minimums? You a fan of R.KELLY? You want to help R.KELLY? Then get some counseling for R.KELLY. Introduce him to some older women. Hide his camcorder. But don't pretend like the man is a hero.
What up? Hey, lovelies. We are now on Apple Podcasts. Yes. For my iPhone users, just a little something for you. Head over to the Apple Podcast app and type in WhitneyD TV in the search bar and click the check to add me to your dashboard and listen to your girl on the go. Powered by Anchor FM by way of Spotify. Whitney. Keep it cute and get the boot.